I always get confused when people say they want to be millionaires, but they don't have a budget. It's like you're trying to climb Mount Everest without a guide. Look, I've studied how regular people build wealth, and here's the truth. 9 to 5 millionaires do not happen by accident. So let's dive into this simple 3-step budgeting method that doesn't require a complicated spreadsheet or for you to sacrifice everything that you love. And later, I'll even walk you through an example of how this method works and how it can help you to become a 9 to 5 millionaire. So what is a budget? Well, simply put, it is just a plan for how you're going to spend your money. It is you telling your money what to do. Because if you don't do this, you might find yourself asking, where did my money go? Just the act of telling your money where to go can drastically transform your financial picture. But keep in mind that a budget is not a magic wand, and it only works if you stick to it. And the key to staying consistent with budgeting is having what I call an irresistible goal. This is a deep, motivating reason for why you're budgeting. Because I always say that your commitment to budgeting can only be as strong as your motivation behind it. And this is why I recommend writing your irresistible goal at the very top of your budget, whether it be you want to be a homeowner or retire early or travel the world. You want to keep this visible as a constant reminder of what you're working towards. So with this 3-step budgeting method, you're basically going to ask yourself 3 questions. How much will you make? How much will you spend, and how much will you save? Notice that these questions are in the future tense. That is because you want to set your budget ideally before the month begins, so that when the month starts, you already know your plan for your spending. Now, let's look at each question more in detail, starting with question number 1, how much will you make? First, let's determine your monthly income. And this is the foundation of your budget, because without an accurate picture of your income, your budget will fail. So for traditional employees, we're going to look at your paycheck, or what actually hits your bank account. And this is after taxes and health insurance or retirement contributions have been taken out. So you can look at your last few pay stubs to confirm this amount. But if you're a business owner or freelancer, the money that you receive typically does not have taxes taken out yet. So you will have to be diligent to set aside taxes on your own, and typically it should be between 20 to 30% of that amount. And you want to be sure to track all sources of your income, even those small irregular payments. So what do you do if you have a variable income? Well, this is where many budgeters get tripped up. But I would say that if you have a variable income, it makes it even more necessary that you have a budget. A common mistake that some people make is using having a variable income as an excuse for racking up credit card debt. But there are strategies that you can use that'll help you have a more stable income. So what you want to do is create a budget off of the lowest amount of money that you've been paid over the last 6 to 12 months. And if that lowest amount is not a livable wage, then just take the average of the amounts over the past 6 to 12 months. This way, you're budgeting based off of a worst case scenario. And if you make more money than that, then that's great. That's just extra income. A quick pro tip for those of you that do have a variable income, you can create your own personal paycheck system. During your high income months, don't just spend all of that money. You should set that money aside into a separate bank account so that during your low income months, you can pull from that money and give yourself a consistent paycheck. Let's move on to question number 2, how much will you spend? So we're going to look at your expenses. So I want you to start by listing out everything that you spend money on every month. And you want to be very thorough and very accurate in this step. In order to do that, I recommend doing a spending habits analysis, which is basically you looking back at the last 2 to 3 months of your bank transactions to see exactly where you've been spending your money. And here are the main categories to consider. I want you to first look at your fixed expenses, and that'll be your housing, such as your mortgage or rent, your utilities like electricity, water, gas, internet, your insurance premiums like your car insurance or your renter's insurance, any subscriptions that you have like Apple TV, Netflix, Hulu, any minimum debt payments that you have, and tithing if that applies to you. Next, you should look at your variable expenses that are also necessities, such as your grocery bill, your transportation or gas, and any household needs. Next, I want you to list out your discretionary spending, and that includes eating out, traveling, shopping, gym memberships, and any other entertainment. And a quick tip here is to not forget about those irregular expenses that don't happen every month, such as car maintenance or annual subscriptions. To plan for these, I want you to take the total amount of those irregular expenses and divide that by 12, and that amount is what you'll add to your monthly budget. And this will help you avoid any surprises. So that leads us to the last question your budget should answer. And this question is so powerful because this is where 9 to 5 millionaires are made. And that is, how much will you save? We basically want to figure out what your leftover cash flow is, and how we calculate that is just your income minus your expenses. And this number will immediately show you if you're living within your means, because the goal is for your expenses to be less than your income at the very least. And if you're always spending more than what you make, it is incredibly difficult to build wealth or become a 9-to-5 millionaire. And if you did this calculation and it gave you a negative number, then that means you're living above your means and you need to revisit step 1 or 2. But hopefully this number is positive, meaning that you do have leftover cash flow. Now we have to decide what to do with it. And this is where it gets exciting, because based on what you decide to do, it can change your financial future. But unfortunately, most people leave this leftover cash flow without a job to do, which pretty much guarantees that it will be eaten up by impulse shopping. So to prevent this, I like to follow a zero-based budget. And that basically means that your income minus your expenses should equal 0. Now, that doesn't mean that you go spend all of the money to equal 0. That just means that you give every dollar a job. So here's how I would prioritize spending this leftover cash flow. So I would first get an emergency fund, at least $2,000, and then I would start to contribute to my employer-sponsored retirement plan, like a 401k, at least to get that match, because that's free money. And the next thing I would do is put everything that I have to any high interest debt to get that out of my life. And then if I have anything left after that, I would start to max out my retirement accounts, such as the 401k or the Roth IRA. And if you have anything left over after that, then you can put towards your savings goals, such as to buy a new car or for a vacation or anything like that, or a house down payment. And lastly, depending on what your retirement goal is, I would just keep investing, or I would stack that money to put it towards an investment opportunity. Having the discipline to direct your cash flow to these goals is what separates those who just say they want to become millionaires from those who actually are. So let's look at an example of how this 3-step budget works. Renee is a marketing coordinator earning $3,500 per month after taxes, but she also has a side hustle income that she occasionally gets $200 to $400. But following our rule of using the lowest amount earned, we'll only budget that $3,500. Now let's look at how much Renee spends, starting with her fixed expenses, and that includes rent at $1,200, utilities $150, car payment $275, car insurance $90, student loan minimum $220, phone $65, and streaming service $35. Her variable and discretionary expenses are groceries at $400, gas at $140, dining out $150, personal care $75, household items $60, fun and entertainment $150, a gym membership at $50, and gifts and miscellaneous at $40. So her total monthly spending is $3,100. So how much will Renee save? Well, her income minus her expenses equal $400. So in order to get to a zero-based budget, Renee will allocate $150 to get to a 3-month emergency fund. Then she'll put $150 towards her highest interest debt payment, which is her student loan. And then she'll put $50 towards the travel fund, and then $50 to her Roth IRA, which is a total savings of $400, bringing us to a zero-based budget. So what are the good things about Renee's budget? Well, first, she's living below her means because she has money to save, so that's great. She also has a zero-based budget, so every dollar has a name. And also, she has a good balance between enjoying today and planning for the future. So these are all good things, but Renee actually wants to retire early at 55, and she's currently 28 years old. And she is currently investing $250 a month. $50 goes to her Roth IRA and $200 goes to her 401k before she even gets her paycheck. So let's put this amount into a compound interest calculator and see if she'll reach her goal. If she's starting out at $0 invested and she only invests $250 a month, it will take her 38 years to reach a $1 million net worth. So she will be 66 years old. So no, she will not reach her goal. So how can we make this work? Well, because Renee's goal to retire early is so irresistible, she decides to work even harder at her side hustle and make more money each month. And that will allow her to pay off her car loan and her student loans, which will bring her monthly savings up to $1,000 a month. And by doing that, she'll actually be able to retire 2 years earlier than her goal. And this is also assuming that she won't increase her investing, which is highly unlikely. So it is very possible that she'll be able to retire before her 50th birthday. This is how regular people with ordinary incomes become 9-to-5 millionaires. And it's not through deprivation, it is through intentional decisions with every dollar. This is possible for you, and I lay it all out in my Irresistible Goal Framework, which is a 10-page PDF guide that walks you through step by step how to reach financial freedom. Now that you know how to set up a budget and give every dollar a name, you have taken the first critical step to reaching financial freedom. And the crazy thing is, most people won't even take this first step. So if you've made it this far in the video, kudos to you. But budgeting is just the beginning. This video is part of my 9-to-5 Millionaire series, where I break down how you can build wealth and reach financial freedom with a 9-to-5 income. I've created a whole playlist with videos on how to leverage your 9-to-5 job to reach millionaire status. So if you're ready to dive deeper on this journey, then click here to watch that playlist, and I'll see you there.